Hello and welcome everyone to EME's conference. My name is Harmeet Matharu, and in this session we will talk about applying HACCP to sous vide. As you all know that sous vide is considered as a specialized process in food code, and specialized processes conducted in retail food establishments require a pre-approved HACCP plan. So in this, we will talk about the risk associated with sous vide products and the HACCP requirements to get the plan approved. The Culinary Research and Education Academy, CREA, is founded by our chief scientist, Dr. Bruno Gusso, in 1970s, and we are located in Sterling, Virginia, and also in Paris. We do train chefs in sous vide, and I work here as a quality assurance consulting manager that helps in doing the technique right, but also training them in HACCP. And we specialize in making HACCP plans for sous vide. So let's start with understanding what reduced oxygen packaging is. It is a packaging method that reduces the amount of oxygen in a sealed package that is less than 21%. In this, oxygen can be removed or it can be replaced with another gas. So the four types of ROP procedures are cook chill. In this, product is cooked traditionally, bagged, and then sealed and cooled down, and then it's cold stored. The other type is vacuum packing. In this, the motive is to have a longer shelf life or to reduce chances of any oxidation. So you can pack the product at a cold temperature, vacuum pack it, and store it. The third type is modified air packaging. In this, we replace the oxygen present with another kind of air. It could be nitrogen or carbon dioxide, like the meat products or minced meat or ground meat we get at retail store. It is modified air packaged. And the last form is sous vide. In this, product is raw when it's vacuum packed, and then cooked in the same bag and chilled in the same bag, and then cold stored. So sous vide is a method of packaging food in which raw or partially cooked food is vacuum packed in an impermeable bag, cooked in the bag, rapidly chilled, and refrigerated at temperatures that inhibit the growth of pathogens. The equipment used in sous vide is a vacuum machine, plastic ROP bags that are food grade and that ensure that the chemical would not leach from the packaging to your food product when high temperature cooking is used, your circulators, rational ovens, temperature data loggers, and sous vide thermometer probe. This we need to check the core temperature of the product, and data logger is of course for measuring and also making sure the temperature is maintained during cooking and also cooling. So when we talk about the hazards that are associated with reduced oxygen packaging, the two main microorganisms that are associated with this kind of packaging are Clostridium botulinum and Listeria monocytogenes. We will discuss this in detail in our next slides. Under traditional packaging conditions, that is like aerobic condition where oxygen is present, the spoilage bacteria would normally thrive. So before there's more hazardous kind of microorganisms grow, there's a fight between these microorganisms and the product spoils before there's any other hazard that occur. But in reduced oxygen packaging, the spoilage organisms are eliminated because we are cooking at a mild heat. And there's anaerobic conditions, there's no oxygen present. So they are favorable conditions for Clostridium botulinum or Listeria to grow there. So that is why these are the most important microorganisms when we consider the controls that are required for ROP, because these are the favorable conditions and also their competing bacteria is dead at mild cooking temperatures. The first one we will discuss is Clostridium botulinum. It is an anaerobic microorganism that forms spores. It has the ability to multiply in no oxygen environment or less oxygen environment, and that produces a potent neurotoxin. This neurotoxin can attack the nervous system and can cause double vision, paralysis, and occasionally death. The disease is called botulism. The spores these microorganisms form are heat resistant and they can survive most minimal heat treatments like we do in sous vide that destroys the vegetative cells. In sous vide, we apply mild heat treatment. That is why the competing bacteria, which is the preservative or vegetative cells of bacteria, they die at these temperatures. But it is a favorable condition for Clostridium to grow as the competing bacteria is now dead, but also there's anaerobic conditions. So as you can see there at the bottom where you have unfavorable condition, it forms the spores. And these spores is a protective layer around that can let it survive for years and years in those unfavorable, or you can say freezer or refrigeration temperatures if formed. And under favorable conditions, like temperature danger zone, they start multiplying. And when they multiply, they form the neurotoxin, which is a byproduct of their multiplication that attacks the nervous system and causes the disease. The second concern with reduced oxygen packaging is Listeria. This is a hardy microorganism that is salt tolerant. It can also survive in temperatures below 1 degree Celsius, and it can also grow in less oxygen environment. This can come from personal hygiene. It can come from your equipment. It can be from environment, all the cross-contamination reasons. And also if your product is not cooked up to required temperatures. What are the controls? For these, you must implement good handling practices while preparation and handling food. Cook your product up to the required temperature. And the storage condition and temperature conditions I have listed under this control section in the slide is actually based on the requirements on your food code. So wherever your business is located, you have to check with the local or state food code requirements. It can be stored up to 41 degrees Fahrenheit for up to 7 days from the date of packaging. For seafood, it can be up to 48 hours, it can be 72, and at certain places, it's not allowed to ROP seafood. So you have to check your food code requirements. Depending on which food code version they are following, it can also be stored up to 30 days under 34 degrees Fahrenheit and up to 72 hours under 38 Fahrenheit. And the last and most important thing is to implement a approved HACCP plan. Under Section 3-502.12 of FDA Food Code 2017, reduced oxygen packaging of potentially hazardous foods or TCS food is considered a high-risk process. And due to the increased risk associated with ROP products, you are required to have accepted hazard analysis critical control point, the HACCP plan. And other processes or other specialized processes that require a HACCP plan are curing and smoking, sausage fermentation, packaging of fresh juice, shellfish tanks, and sprouting. HACCP stands for Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point. It is a systematic approach to identify, evaluate, and control food safety hazards that are caused by biological, chemical, or physical agents. If these agents are not controlled, they can cause an illness. The benefits of having a HACCP plan is to ensure you are in compliance with food regulations. You have a increased food quality and food safety. You're reducing the risk of recalls and increasing consumer confidence. And most importantly, provides safer but also consistent quality product. The HACCP requirements without a variance. The variance is a written document that is issued by your regulatory agency that authorizes a modification or waiver on your current requirements in the food code. If there's a modification in any of the rule, you're required to have a variance from your local department. For sous vide cooking, you have to check for your local food code. In that, you are required to submit the application with the supportive documents. And after it's approved, you can use the process in your restaurant. The requirements of a HACCP plan are based on the Section 3-502.12, that is reduced oxygen packaging. So you have to check the requirements there. You must have multiple barriers to control the hazards that we have discussed earlier. It can be a combination of water activity, pH, if it's a USDA product, and if it's a raw product that has high level of competing bacteria. The allowance of how long you can store that product in sous vide is based on your current version of food code that state or local health department has. Seafood, you're required to keep it frozen and label it frozen throughout the process, which is before, during, and after packaging. Also, retail establishments are not allowed to package fish in ROP. So check with your local and state, any food code you are following, you have to check the requirements there. If you are requesting for any modification in your food code, you are required to have a signed or approved variance with the HACCP plan. Additional testing may be required. So if you're changing any cooking temperatures or extending the shelf life, even the processing of ROP fish, you're required to have a variance from your local or state health department. This is an overview of HACCP and regulatory agencies in US. The USDA regulates poultry, meat, egg products like in shell or broken egg products like liquid eggs, catfish, and exotic meats. FDA regulates seafood, egg products, dairy, produced and packaged foods. Retail food establishments like grocery stores, restaurants, cafeterias, and food trucks are regulated by state and local health department. The version of food code is based on FDA code, but it's up to the state to write their own, so they can follow either 2005, 2009, or 17. So the regulations, they have their own state requirements. Once the commerce crosses state lines, like commissaries, if it's based in one state and sending product to the other state, they are regulated by FDA or USDA, depending on what kind of product they are making. This is an example of two different states following different food code version. So you can see how the ROP requirements varies depending on what version they are following. Like in Florida, it's still 2009, which is monitored by 3 different agencies. The food code requirement is to keep the cooked and cooled ROP product under 34 degrees Fahrenheit and up to 30 days from the date of packaging. Once the product is brought to 41, which is your reach-in temperature, you can just keep up to 72 hours. If you're storing your product at 38 Fahrenheit, the storage requirement is up to 72 hours. In Florida, they cannot store ROP cooked fish in any circumstances, so might apply for variance in that condition. There is no shelf life restriction if your product is frozen. Whereas in New York City, that follows 2017 food code, only one agency monitors that. And the storage requirement is 30 days at 34 degrees Fahrenheit from the date of packaging. This is for a cooked and cooled product. So sous vide product that's cooked in the same package and then cold, you can store up to 30 days. Or you can store at 41 your reach-in temperature for up to 7 days from the date of packaging. There is no shelf life restriction for frozen. Certain establishment can get a variance or a special request where they can store aquatic animals or seafood in ROP for up to 72 hours at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So in an ice bin, they can keep a cooked and cool seafood product. The HACCP plan is based on local food code regulations. Once we understand the requirements, the plan is based on it. It includes the HACCP theme and description, the process flow and hazard analysis, This is based on the product you're making, because the risk associated with the product you're making, as for example, poultry, is different than seafood. So based on that, the process flow and hazard analysis is conducted. Then the CCP summary and validation documents are attached, and critical limits and controls are set. Other documents that are required in a HACCP plan are forms and records that are used for monitoring and corrective actions, verification, HACCP verification, and training. HACCP verification is done at least once every year. Other programs that are associated with HACCP system are prerequisite programs. That includes personal hygiene and health, sanitation, standard operating procedures, supplier program, equipment and facility, calibration program and documents, pest control, and ROP training program. So here at CREA, we train in fundamentals of sous vide and successfully implement approved HACCP plans. These are some of the services we provide and our clients. For any HACCP training or plan-related inquiries, please send us an email at contactus@lecrea.com. Thank you.